The State Farm Arena welcomed more than 8,000 fans for Evolution, an event held one day after the same arena hosted the Saturday night main event. Atlanta, Georgia will go down in history for hosting the second edition of an all-women's event where all generations come together to honor the legacy of women in the wrestling industry. But since not everything is truly perfect, I can't say that this event was free of mistakes. So for now, I'll stop talking, and today I'll present to you 5 mistakes that happened at Evolution. Number 5. The Fall of Jaycee. Jaycee Jane had an amazing match against Jordynne Grace for the NXT Women's Championship. The match lasted 10 minutes, and the fans were satisfied with the incredible quality both wrestlers showed at the start of the match. Although Jaycee Jane was accompanied by Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix, Jordynne Grace was also accompanied by Blake Monroe. However, every good thing has something bad, and in this case, Jaycee Jane made a mistake. At one point, when she tried to escape from a powerbomb by Jordynne Grace, Jaycee got caught on the turnbuckle and tried to use all her strength to hold on, but she couldn't. She ended up falling to the mat, and even Jordynne Grace couldn't catch her because she was too late. God, nobody would like to be hanging from the turnbuckle and using all their strength to hold on. But failing in the attempt. The best part is that Jaycee Jane was able to quickly forget this mistake and keep fighting. Ultimately, the match quality made us forget about this. Number 4, what did he say? Yes. On the day of Evolution 2, many female legends came to the State Farm Arena to make an appearance. However, one of the legendary wrestlers who wasn't there was Candice Mitchell. But you know what? This wrestler was mentioned all night by an English commentator, but he kept saying her name wrong. This caused Candice Michelle herself to repeat this mistake on her social media.
Candice Michelle. Candice LeRae, you're doing it again. You always do that.
Candice Michelle. Candice Michelle.
Michael Cole's head must have had a lot going on that night, and that's what made him end up getting confused. Not once, but on many occasions, he confused Candice LeRae with Candice Michelle. Michael Cole ended up confusing a former women's champion from 2007 with a current roster wrestler. Even though both are named Candice, their last names are what set them apart. Poor Michael Cole. Let's hope that after the show, he didn't get scolded or have any issues from the WWE production team, since the company is very detail-oriented and meticulous about these kinds of mistakes. And it's no wonder. Changing someone's name is more than a mistake, it's a sign of disrespect. This kind of mistake ends up taking its toll in the long run. We can't forget that it's said that the former Spanish commentator, Carlos Cabrera, was fired precisely because of this kind of mistake.
Candice Michelle! Candice LeRae, you're doing it again. You always do that.
Candice Michelle. Candice Michelle.
Number 3, the awkward moment of the cash-in. One of the most incredible and surprising moments of the night. It would happen when Naomi appeared on the scene and interrupted the match between AJ Sky and Rhea Ripley to cash in her briefcase. Money in the Bank. However, there was a lot of confusion with the event host who took the briefcase with her hands when she didn't have to. Naomi was waiting impatiently for her to announce the match, and after a few seconds, she ended up snatching the briefcase from her hand to go attack Io Sky. As if that wasn't enough, all this confusion even caused the bell to ring twice to start the now new triple threat match for the title. Something that left the fans a bit confused and not really understanding why the bell had rung twice. The criticism didn't take long to come for the English announcer, who by the way, was brought in that same day to replace Lillian Garcia, who had announced the day before. But due to problems with her vocal cords and severe hoarseness, she couldn't be at Evolution 2. Probably this announcer thought she was the one who had to take the briefcase when the cash-in happened, but in reality that wasn't the case. Well. An awkward and tense moment which was quickly forgotten because Naomi would go on to win the Women's Championship. Number 2, Chi. Stephanie Baker, my compatriot. The first one made history at Evolution 2 after winning the much-coveted Women's Royal Battle. Royal Battle, which, by the way, featured great guest wrestlers in the match, including Nikki Bella. However, before the first one won the Royal Battle, something unexpected happened between her and Lash Legend. They went over to the other side of the ropes and ended up fighting on the edge of the ring. This made things very difficult for Lash because she got caught by one hand between the middle rope and the top rope. Lash had to pull her hand as hard as she could to get it out of the ropes, and continue like that with the final part of the match. And the rest is history. The first one did it, she made her mark in her own way, and even ended up speaking Spanish to Stephanie McMahon. A historic moment for South America, but especially for my beloved Chile. Everyone's dream is now represented by Stephanie Batcher from San Fernando to the world. I also want to thank Lash Legend for her professionalism in quickly overcoming this misfortune and moving forward with match number 1. The production also makes mistakes. The mistakes didn't just come from the wrestlers and the announcer this time, but also from the event production team. And when Zelina Vega entered the ring, the digital bar where her name appears said she was the current United States Women's Champion. A huge mistake because Zelina Vega lost the title to Julia on SmackDown, which took place in Saudi Arabia on June 27th. And the Evolution 2 event was taking place on Sunday, July 13th, almost 2 weeks after Zelina Vega had lost the title. This production oversight confused a lot of people, but it also showed us that anyone can make mistakes. And not just the characters we love to see in the ring. The problem with all this is that Julia, the current United States Women's Champion, didn't have anything written on her digital banner. It's as if she really hadn't held any title at all. However, we don't know if WWE will fix this mistake in the final edit of Evolution 2 for Netflix. Or will they keep it, even though they know it was wrong? Wow, and what did you all think? The second edition of this amazing women's event? Apparently, it surprised a lot of people, because if we're talking about faith, not many had hope for this event.